Many of you have heard about the power of the law of attraction, how your thoughts, feelings, and vibrations can shape your reality. But what if, despite your best efforts, things aren't manifesting as you'd hoped? What if, instead of drawing abundance, love, and success into your life, you're pushing it all away? The truth is, there are certain deadly habits that can block or even kill the law of attraction in your life. These are often unconscious patterns, habits of thought and action that sabotage your manifestations without you even realizing it. Today, we're going to uncover these destructive habits and learn how to free ourselves from them, so that the law of attraction can work effortlessly in our favor. The first deadly habit that kills the law of attraction is negative self-talk. We all have an inner voice, a constant stream of thoughts that narrates our life. But what happens when that voice is filled with doubt, fear, and criticism? If you're constantly telling yourself, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never succeed," or "this is impossible for me," you are emitting a powerful vibration of lack and limitation. And what does the law of attraction respond to? Vibration. It doesn't care about your words, it responds to the energy you're sending out. Negative self-talk lowers your vibration, aligning you with the very things you don't want. You might be trying to manifest abundance, but if your internal dialogue is one of scarcity, you will attract more scarcity. You might desire love, but if you're constantly telling yourself that you're unworthy of love, you'll repel it instead. The law of attraction works through harmony and resonance. To manifest your desires, you must be in vibrational alignment with them, and negative self-talk disrupts that alignment. To counter this deadly habit, it's essential to become aware of your thoughts and shift your self-talk to something more empowering. Instead of "I can't," replace it with "I'm capable." Instead of "I'm not worthy," say, "I deserve happiness and abundance." It might feel strange at first, but with practice, your internal dialogue will start to reflect the energy of what you want to attract. And when that happens, you'll notice a shift in what the universe brings into your life. The second deadly habit is living in fear and doubt. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions, and unfortunately, it's also one of the most limiting. When you operate from a place of fear, whether it's fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of the unknown, you are vibrating at a frequency that blocks your desires from manifesting. Doubt works in the same way. If you doubt the law of attraction, if you doubt your ability to create the life you desire, you're sending a mixed signal to the universe. One part of you wants to attract success, but another part doesn't fully believe it's possible. This creates resistance, and resistance is the enemy of manifestation. The law of attraction works best when you're in a state of flow, trust, and confidence. When fear and doubt enter the picture, they create walls between you and your desires. You might think you're doing everything right, visualizing, affirming, and meditating, but if your underlying energy is rooted in fear or doubt, you're unknowingly sabotaging your efforts. So how do we overcome this habit? The key is to cultivate faith, faith in yourself, faith in the process, and faith in the universe. Whenever fear or doubt creeps in, remind yourself that these feelings are temporary and do not reflect the truth of your potential. Trust that the universe is always working in your favor, even if you can't see the results yet. Release the need to control everything, and allow yourself to flow with the energy of trust. The more you can let go of fear and doubt, the more the universe can deliver what you truly desire. The third deadly habit is focusing on lack instead of abundance. This is one of the most common ways people block the law of attraction. When you're constantly focused on what's missing from your life, whether it's money, love, success, or health, you are placing your attention on lack. And remember, whatever you focus on expands. The more you focus on not having enough, the more you attract experiences that confirm that lack. The law of attraction doesn't discriminate between what you want and what you don't want. It simply amplifies the energy you're putting out. So if you're fixated on scarcity, on what you don't have, you will continue to attract situations that reflect scarcity. If you're constantly saying, "I don't have enough money," "I'll never find love," or "I'm always struggling," you're reinforcing that reality in your life. The shift here is simple but profound. Instead of focusing on what you lack, focus on what you have and what's coming. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for raising your vibration. When you focus on the abundance that already exists in your life, no matter how small, you start to shift your energy from scarcity to plenty. And that's when the law of attraction kicks into high gear. Instead of saying, "I don't have enough," say, "I'm grateful for the abundance I already have, and more is on its way." This shift in mindset is the key to attracting even more abundance into your life. The fourth deadly habit is impatience and trying to force outcomes. When we want something badly, it's natural to feel impatient. We want results now. But here's the paradox: impatience creates resistance. When you're constantly focused on how long it's taking for your manifestations to appear, you're sending a signal of frustration and lack. The more you try to control or force the outcome, the more you block the natural flow of the universe. The law of attraction works on divine timing, not your timing. The universe has its own rhythm, and when you try to rush the process, you create unnecessary stress and tension. This habit of impatience can lead you to give up just before your manifestation is about to come into fruition. Imagine planting a seed and then constantly digging it up to see if it's growing. You're disrupting the natural process. The key to overcoming impatience is surrender. Surrender doesn't mean giving up, it means trusting that the universe knows the perfect timing for your desires to manifest. Focus on the feeling of already having what you want, and then let go of the need to control how and when it arrives. Trust the process, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly in its own time. When you release the need to force outcomes, you create space for the universe to deliver what you desire in the most effortless way. The fifth deadly habit is surrounding yourself with negative energy. The people you spend time with, the environment you're in, and the media you consume all have a profound impact on your vibration. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, whether it's in the form of toxic relationships, negative news, or environments filled with conflict, you're absorbing that energy. And that energy affects your ability to attract positive outcomes. The law of attraction responds to your energetic state, so if you're constantly immersed in negativity, it becomes harder to maintain a high vibration. You might be trying to focus on your desires, but if your environment is pulling you into low vibrational states, it creates a mismatch between what you want and the energy you're putting out. To break free from this habit, it's important to cultivate a positive environment. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, consume media that motivates and empowers you, and spend time in spaces that bring you peace. Remember, energy is contagious. The more you align yourself with positive influences, the more your vibration will rise, and the easier it will be to attract the things you desire. The sixth deadly habit is holding on to grudges and resentment. carrying unresolved anger, bitterness, or resentment weighs heavily on your energy field. These emotions keep you stuck in the past, and as long as you're dwelling on old wounds, you're unable to fully align with the present moment and the future you're trying to manifest. The law of attraction requires a state of openness and flow, but grudges create energetic blockages. When you hold on to resentment, you keep reliving the pain, and in doing so, you attract more situations that mirror that energy. If you're focused on how someone hurt you or what went wrong, you're vibrating at the frequency of those negative experiences, and that's what the universe responds to. Forgiveness is the key to breaking free from this habit. Forgiveness isn't about excusing the behavior or forgetting the past, it's about releasing the emotional charge that's keeping you stuck. By letting go of resentment, you free up energy that can be redirected towards manifesting the positive things you truly desire. Forgiveness opens the door to healing, growth, and new possibilities. The seventh deadly habit is overanalyzing and doubting the process. While it's natural to want to understand how things work, constantly overthinking or questioning whether the law of attraction is working creates unnecessary mental clutter. When you're overly focused on the mechanics, you're not allowing the energy of trust and flow to guide your manifestation. Overanalyzing is rooted in doubt. If you're constantly thinking, "Is this going to work?" or "What if this doesn't happen?" you're sending mixed signals to the universe. Remember, the law of attraction operates on faith, not overthinking. The more you analyze, the more you introduce resistance into the process. The solution is to trust the process and let go of the need to know exactly how everything will unfold. Manifestation isn't about controlling every detail, it's about aligning with the energy of what you want and trusting that the universe will deliver it in the best possible way. When you let go of the need to overthink, you make room for magic to happen. The eighth deadly habit is holding limiting beliefs. These beliefs are deeply ingrained patterns of thinking that shape your reality in ways you may not even realize. If you believe that money is hard to come by, that success is only for others, or that love is unattainable for you, these beliefs act as invisible walls, blocking your ability to manifest the life you truly desire. Limiting beliefs operate in the background, shaping your thoughts, emotions, and actions. They create a vibrational mismatch between what you say you want and what you truly believe is possible for you. No matter how much you visualize or affirm, if your underlying beliefs are rooted in limitation, the law of attraction will reflect those limitations back to you. To break free from limiting beliefs, start by identifying them. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself about why you can't have what you want. Once you recognize these beliefs, challenge them. Replace them with empowering beliefs that align with your desires. Instead of saying, "I can't," say, "I can, and I will." When your beliefs support your desires, the law of attraction will work effortlessly in your favor. Remember, the law of attraction is always working, whether you realize it or not. The key is to be conscious of the energy you're putting out into the universe. When you eliminate these deadly habits, you open the door to limitless possibilities, and the universe responds in kind. Thank you for joining me today as we explored these crucial insights. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit from this message. Stay mindful of your thoughts, stay aligned with your desires, and watch as the law of attraction brings magic into your life. Until next time, take care.